Hi, welcome aboard. Over the last few weeks we've been covering aspects of tourism in Rockhampton. Now we make no secret of the fact that Rockhampton has always been one of those places that you pass through on your way to somewhere else. And people who do that really do miss an opportunity to visit a superb tourism destination, which, as we've seen over the last few weeks, has a huge number of attractions and has something to suit absolutely everybody. Now, one of the things that's really impressed me over the time that we've been shooting this material is the energy and the support of the council as far as getting Rocky up and running is concerned. This is one of the most active, energetic and supportive councils that I've had anything to do with over the 19-year run of the show. Now, the council operates in all areas of the community. And one of the areas in which the council is particularly interested is heritage. Now, Rockhampton has a very strong, very powerful heritage. It goes back many years to the start of settlement, as a matter of fact. And for a number of years, they've had a heritage village on the outskirts of Rocky. Now, about 2 years ago, the opportunity arose to move that heritage village closer into Rockhampton and to expand it and make it far more representative of life in Rockhampton 100 or 130 years ago. Now, the heritage village is in halfway through its first stage, if you like, of construction. Drew Wickerson is the man who has been charged by the council with the responsibility of making it all happen and work. You'll see that Drew certainly fits in with the heritage image, with the way in which he dresses, and he even rides a penny farthing bike around the site on a regular basis. I took the opportunity to talk to Drew and find out just how all this worked at a bush festival which was run a short time ago in Rocky.
Well, I think the big bonus was we got a grant of $1.9 million through DEACHIP, which is the Department of Employment, to train a total of 150 out-of-work young people and middle-aged people to build what you see behind us here. So that's really kicked it off.
So these people were unskilled?
To the most part. We had a few amongst them that were carpenters, but generally they had low skills in this sort of technique, but we train them with fully accredited training and bring them up to speed with this sort of work.
So they go out into the work community or into the general community with those skills confirmed?
Absolutely. It's all got to be fully accredited, and we're really pleased that we've got about 25% success rate so far. So 20 out of 100 people so far have got full-time employment because of us, we'd like to think.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
And the standard of workmanship is tremendous.
Yes, well, we can't fault it. We're fairly particular about the detail and the authenticity, and we've had fully qualified carpenters look at this and just say this is tremendous work that they're doing. It's brilliant.
Now, what's the basis of the layout of the village?
Okay, the layout is to create a fully activated living history township. So all the streets and the buildings will replicate what Rockhampton was like 100 years ago and through to about 1930. So that's the aim.
Now, we just had a bus go past in the background there. What about the restored vehicles? You've got a tremendous range of restored vehicles.
That's right. Well, to bring the village to life, we need things like fully restored vehicles, people in costume that
yes.
sort of fit the part, as well as all the working trades, bakeries, blacksmith printers, everything that the township would have had 100 years ago.
Now, will the bakery and the printer, will they operate on a commercial basis?
They will, but I think at this stage we're looking at council running it, keeping it in-house,
right.
Because everything that we make has to go back into the future development. We're only opening stage 1 next year, but there's many more stages to come after that.
Well, how many?
Or who knows, probably 10 plus, I'd say.
Is that right?
Yes, it's a big scheme, it'll take a long time.
So it'll take a long time, and obviously you're going to have to secure funding on a sort of an ongoing basis.
A lot of it will come from corporate and community sponsorship, which we hope will increase over the time, but also from the money that we raise. So we have to look at the commercial aspects as well as the historical aspects.
Now, what about the local business community? Have they supported it?
That's right. We've had a target of $1.2 million. I think we've raised so far $1.1 million in corporate and community sponsorship towards it, so that Rockhampton has really got behind the place and they've got confidence in it.
Now, is that in money or in kind?
Most of it's in kind. There's not too much cold hard cash floating around these days, but if it's bricks and mortar and services that are provided, that's things that we'd spend money on as well, so yes. It's just as valid as cold hard cash.
Yes, yeah, and I noticed that the timber and all of the support structure there is there as a result of the community support.
That's right. We've had all sorts of businesses and even individuals sort of give time or money or materials towards it. It's just been brilliant.
Drew, it seems to me that in these somewhat difficult times, particularly in the country, it's unusual for a council to invest this much in this type of project. What was the motivation behind the council doing that?
Oh well, we were lucky about 4 or 5 years ago. The council received a donation of a whole existing museum. All the vehicles and the goods and chattels of a local museum was handed over to us on a plate, basically, donated by the Hinds and Gomelsall families. They couldn't make ends meet with the museum. So that was the inspiration, I think, and we've built this heritage village to accommodate that existing collection, to move it over. I think that the council see the ownership of their heritage as their responsibility for the good of the whole of Rockhampton's community.
Now obviously a bush festival is to do with Australian bush music, all aspects of it, and this festival had the full variety, the full spectrum if you like, of Australian bush music, and the man who headed up the coordination of all of the musical activities was a man whose voice is well known to Australians because for many years he was a regular on Macca's Good Morning Australia, and that's Mike O'Sullivan.
Get those hands going!
We've got entertainers here from Sydney, from Melbourne, and visitors as far away from Cooktown.
Is that right?
At the festival here this weekend. Yeah.
Well, I noticed somebody last night asked who was in the crowd from the various states, and a couple of Tasmanians put their
there's
hands
a couple
up.
of Tasmanians, yeah. So we've got people from everywhere.
And what about the bush village here, Michael?
The Bush Village is a replica of Rockhampton from 1847 to 1900. It's presently being built and it will be finished at this time next year. There's a little bit more work to do, and it's a great situation because people are really enjoying the Australian cultural heritage again. We have thousands of people here today, and no doubt we'll have the same amount tomorrow, but they're really enjoying themselves, all the horse and buggy rides and the old drays and all the Australian music, of course, because that's the great part of it as far as I'm concerned.
Well, talking about Australian music, there's a tremendous variety of acts, and it certainly confirms the fact that we have a uniquely Australian musical culture.
That's right,
culture,
yeah.
don't we?
Yeah, we certainly do. I'm not a great fan of line dancing. I'd sooner do tiger dancing. But we've got some great Australian entertainers. We've got the Bushwhackers here, who really are our stamp for the whole weekend as far as Australian entertainers. But we've got folk entertainers from Sydney, so it brings Australian folk music into a place like Rockhampton. And also Rockhampton is a great place to collect songs because we have so many songs about gold mining, the railways, the West,
The cattle, the drivers, all that. Yeah.
And people come here to collect songs and tunes. So that's, it's a great situation.